What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be opening up the doors and showing you what it takes to actually be a business owner in social media marketing. Not like a freelancer that does lots of small things and is a generalist. I'm going to really open up the doors in a presentation and walk you step by step. This is something that people pay me to show them how to do, but I am giving it to you guys for free on YouTube today. Okay, so this training is going to be for anybody who, say you're an agency owner, but you're a one-man show, you have like lots of random clients, maybe you have like 2 or 3, or anybody who's, maybe you're making 6 figures in social media marketing, right? But you're doing a lot of different things and you're the only person. This is for, say you're a coach or a consultant that is actually trying to take their business to the next level and start to build a team and do all those aspects of stuff, right? That's what this training is for and what it's going to show you. So please take your time, actually go through this training. Just going to switch over to my computer screen and really take note and dive into this. So if you guys are new to who it is I am, my name's Elliot Drake and I run a company called landclients.com as well as House of Influence, okay? And this channel is all about how to start and grow your very own online business. I've been able to travel the world, speak on lots of stages, been in Forbes, been in the news, built multiple 6-figure companies, and so this is my way of giving back. And so I'm super excited to share this training with you guys. Let's jump right into it right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the training, and today what we're going to be talking about is escaping the freelancer rat race. And specifically what we're really going to be going over is the difference between a freelancer and actually becoming a business owner. And the differences between those are what we're really going to be talking about today, and the difference between how to actually scale to having a team and what that looks like versus being a freelancer where everything's on you. You don't have a team. If you leave, the business crumbles, right? So that's kind of the preface of what this video is about. And this is a really, really important training. So I'm excited to get into it. So let's get started. So here's what we're going to be covering today. First, we're going to be understanding the difference between a freelancer and a business owner. And then we're going to be going over simplicity always wins and why it's important. Then creating systems to remove yourself from the ecosystem. And then working on your business instead of in your business. And then how to hire and why you should hire when it hurts. Okay, so let's jump right in. Okay, so understanding the difference between a freelancer and a business owner. So a freelancer is someone who runs and operates all aspects of their business and is normally the one-man show, right? What you're doing is you're figuring out the clients, you're doing the sales calls, you're doing the client fulfillment, you're handling the finances, you're doing managing client relationships, you're doing all of the work. You have nobody helping you. It's just you, right? That's what the freelancer model is, and where a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are starting, which is great, right? This video as well, this training is not just for the people that are freelancers, because as a freelancer, you can just start out, right? But the preface of this video and the importance of it is so as you're becoming a freelancer and starting out on your journey, you know where the direction of where you need to go is, right? Because the overall goal is to become an actual business owner, right? And have different employees and stuff like that. And so the importance is to be able to position yourself and prepare for that time frame to where you don't get stuck with where you're at and then things go into the crapper, right? So, and then a business owner focuses on the most important aspects of the business. They build systems and processes to solve problems in the marketplace, which actually grows the business. They have people in place to handle aspects to handle aspects of the business so it doesn't rely purely on them. And this is just like, I threw this in here because there's a misconception of like being entrepreneur and things, out there, right? We live in a weird age in that regard. And, all entrepreneurs are really do, right? Like an entrepreneur just solves problems in the marketplace. They see places where they can add value and solve a problem for a specific person. And then they build a product or a service or some kind of, right, something along those lines to solve that problem, and they benefit financially by doing it, right? That is what an entrepreneur is. So as a freelancer, you have a glass ceiling. So you only have so much time, which means you can only handle so many clients, which puts a cap on your revenue potential, right? Plus, it's only you. If you leave for a month and don't service your clients, everything falls apart, right? So that's the thing with a freelancer. Whenever you're just starting out, like, you have to start there. I'm not saying not to start there, but you have to. And so the issue with that is down the road is that, when can you take vacations? When can you take a break if you don't start building a team and you just don't have the systems and processes to execute on, right? You're stuck. Plus, from a revenue standpoint, whenever you're a freelancer, you're doing all the work, you are the business. If you take yourself away from it, you don't make money. It's, like anything could happen, right? So the goal is, obviously, as you've known in the previous modules and stuff like that, is that we start as that freelancer. We start there, and then we build our way up, right? We start with that, land clients. We should be able to get, just like I have here. I would, like, personally, I was making it $100K a year as a freelancer before I started hiring and, automating my business, right? And that's the same thing for you. As we've talked about before, it only takes like, say, 7 clients at $1,500 a month to make 126 grand a year, right? Obviously there's some expenses there, but and then say you hire an assistant that's at 26K as, like, your assistant, right? You're making 100K a year, and you can easily handle that. But this video and what we're going to be really going over, and what I want to have clear in your mind, is as you're being that freelancer, as you're landing clients, you need to be able to, like, in your meantime, start building the foundation to move to more of the business owner model, to where you have people that are in place that handle different things, and you are only focusing on the most important parts, okay? So when you're starting, it makes sense for you to be a freelancer and do all the work. It's what gives you the experience and the knowledge to know how to execute and train other people. And you can easily make 100K a year or more by yourself, but you will eventually hit the ceiling that I've already talked about. It's essential for you to know the information now so you can start planning and building the foundations needed to go from the one-person freelancer to the actual business owner that, it does not just rely on you. It's an actual living organism and system that operates, right? If you aren't already making money from your business, I wouldn't go out and hire someone, right? The only exception would be when you don't have the skills necessary to execute on the service side of things. So you want to hire a contractor to do the work. That's one thing that you could do. Here's like an example. You have a client that needs Facebook ads for lead generation, but you don't know how to do it, or you don't want to do it, right? A freelancer that can do it for you and pay them on per project basis, right? We talked about, like, we can hire a contractor, not a full-time employee. We just send them a 1099. It's super easy at the end of the year for what they do, so we're not reliable. And then we do it per project. So you have a client, you go to the guy and say, hey, will you execute this for, say, 1,000, but really the client's paying you 2,500, and then you pocket that profit margin from what you're paying the freelancer to execute there, right? That's kind of the only scenario right there. But this is my note on that, is this is something I don't encourage right away. However, I think it's smart for you to know because, like, what I'm saying is that I don't encourage someone to do this right away, especially when you're starting a business. If you don't know how to do the service offering and you don't learn it, I just don't think it's very smart to go down that road, right? Because you don't know what it takes to get, you don't know what it takes to do the work and to get the result. And as the business owner, like, you know, as a freelancer, as the business owner, like everything really falls on you, right? That's why culture and everything is so important. Like your reputation, your name is everything. And so if you don't know how to go in and say emergency save when an employee fails, like I personally don't feel comfortable with that. You guys, it might be a little bit different, right? Maybe you're comfortable with it and you have a great relationship with a contractor that you know can do the work, and your skill set is, hey, I can just sell deals, I want to pass it. That's great. You know, if that's you, then that is fine. But personally, and from my experience, it makes sense for you to at least know how to do it and get the result. And then after you at least have the knowledge, then, you know, work with the contractor, because that also gets into play. Like, what if they, you know, they could, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go in there. You can go and say they're doing like Facebook ads or something. They tell you that they're great and all this stuff, and you're like, awesome, right? And then they're doing a horrible job, and you go in the ad account, and you don't even know what's going on to be able to go in and fix it, right? Because your reputation's on the line, not the contractors. And so then you lose a client, then you have a bad reputation, and then that's just not great. Another example is, you could be finding someone who's like, say you're bad at sales. There's a lot of people who, you know, they say they're introverted and stuff like that. I was actually, you know, kind of an introvert growing up, but then I grew out of it. And it was, the reason I grew out of it was because I pushed myself to grow out of it. But, you know, and I think that's a thing that everybody, if you're going into business, you need to be able to get over that and learn sales. But this is an example I put in. Another example could be finding someone who's better at sales and having them having them get you clients on commission. But that's something you should learn. Sales and getting clients in the door is how you stay alive, right? How does a business thrive, right? How does a business run? It's clients coming in the door, which is sales, right? So it's a value add, right? Like the market, like it's all about like how much value you bring to the table and what value that you have in all aspects of life. And so knowing sales and understanding it, you will never have to worry about, if you're a killer salesman, you will never have to worry about money ever again in your life. Okay, so that's it for the first section, right? I just wanted to give you guys on this first section a good understanding of the difference between like a freelancer and actual business owner, right? A freelancer is a one-man show. You could easily make $100K a year there. A business owner is someone with employees and is able to handle aspects of the business to where, say you're like, hey, I want to go away on a vacation for a month. The business isn't going to crumble and fall apart. As a freelancer, when you're handling everything, the client delivery, all that stuff, right? You walk away, then everything crumbles, right? That's the point that I wanted to get across here. So we're moving to the next point now, and that is simplicity always wins and why it's important. So the key to growing a business is to simplify all aspects of the business. If you have a million different moving pieces, you'll run around in circles and never make any progress. The goal of a business is to make it run like a well-oiled machine. For that to happen, the less moving pieces, the easier it will be, right? So what I'm saying here is that in your business, right, like what you're trying to achieve and the clients that you're serving, the niche and offer and stuff that you're in, if there's like, to make the thing run, if there's all this clutter, all these different things that you're doing, things aren't organized, they're all over the place, like that is not going to work. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you, how to make things way better and cut all those things out, because unless you're at that point, you can never start to scale. If things are unorganized, you're not clear on, you know, like what your service offering really is and the repeatable system to get that desired result for those people, it's just going to be hard to scale. And it's going to be basically impossible, and you're going to run in circles. Okay. So this is, you know, Steve Jobs. It says simplicity is the key to brilliance, right? And, you know, Apple is a perfect example of simplicity. Like, just look at their smartphone, look at their, you know, look at all their products and their logo, all that stuff. It's simple. Like, people like simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, their interface, like Apple probably like doesn't even really offer all of the things that are available with like a smartphone. Like Android offers probably a lot more options, but what does Apple do really well, right? They build a clean, simple looking phone, and other products, right, that is easy and simple to use. And the marketplace likes that. And that's the same thing for your business. The more complicated, like the more complicated it is, the harder it's going to be to scale, and it's just going to be harder, right? So our goal is to simplify everything. The first thing you must be clear on is you must know the customer and the transition you make for them, okay? So a lot, you guys have gone through this exercise, but for those of you that haven't, which you should, being in the program, but it's clear, like the very foundations, right, of your business have to start with like, who is my customer, exactly who they are, what is their persona, how old are they, what are their attributes, what are they doing, what are their pain points, right? And then after looking at that, then we're like, okay, this is where, for this specific niche, we're going to talk about that in a minute, right? Where can I add my offer and my value there to help them make that transformation from where they currently are to where they desire to be, right? That is the whole goal, and that's what we're going to go over now, okay? So everybody in life, right, your customers, they all have their current situation, right, where they currently are in life. And then everybody has their desired situation, right? The economy ticks on people waking up each day and buying a version of their desired self, right? That's just how the economy, that's just how everything works, right? And so our job is like, we must get 100% clear on this transformation, then identify the only things you're doing that help your customer get there, right? So a lot of you guys already have your offers, you guys are already going forward, right? But this is the most important thing. What is the transformation that you help your customers make, right? So where they currently are, and after they buy your service or your product, where, like, how do you get them that result? How do you get them to that desired situation, right? Is it growing their business? Is it, you help them get into shape and it transforms their life, and that helps their marriage, right? Get so clear on this, right? And then you have to identify the only things you're doing that help you get your customer there, right? This is about, like, going into it, as I've been talking about, is we want to remove the complexity of it, right? So a lot of you guys are doing all these different things. A lot of you are digital marketers, and most of you guys are, starting a marketing agency, right? But this goes for everybody, any kind of consultant, right? Like any kind of offer that you have, we want to make it simple and as least complex as possible. So we want to identify what are the only things that we're doing to help the customer get there, right? We want to, identify all those things that are helping them make that transformation. So now we're going to go into this, and this is really going to help you guys simplify things and set the foundations to actually, being able to scale into a business owner and, get to that 7-figure mark, right? That's the goal. As a freelancer and stuff, as a generalist, so like a generalist is somebody who does lots of things, right? So maybe you offer websites, maybe you offer, social media management, maybe you offer Facebook ads and lead gen, maybe you do, content strategies, maybe all these different things, and then you don't even have a niche. You're just, hey, I'm a digital marketing agency, I can do your digital. It's like everybody blasting it out, right? That is wrong. Like, that is not the way. Like, you can make money doing that, but if you really want to build an actual business that makes good money, you have to be a specialist. You have to be specific on who exactly you help, and then craft everything around that, right? So I have here, specialists earn more money, get more respect, and have more fun, okay? And the reason I say that is because, like, if you're a specialist in a certain, like one example here, listen, like, how hard would it be to be the best Facebook ads guy in the world? Hard, right? Very, very hard. How hard would it be to be the best Facebook ads guy for a plastic surgeon looking to get, their highest quality. I don't know. I was about to say, boob jobs, but this is a live training, but I'm just going to say it anyways, because I'm authentic. You guys know that. Right? Because that is what that's what makes them the most money, right? So you're an agency that helps plastic surgeons get leads and clients that for only their highest like profit margin service, right? You could be the best in the world at that and build a 7-figure business around that alone, right? Versus, oh, I'm just the best Facebook ads agency ever, right? You know what I mean? This goes for all industries, whether you're a consultant, anything. I'm just, using the digital marketing example. That's why we want to be niche specific, because that's going to help us scale, right? And so here's an example, like, a general practitioner versus a brain surgeon, right? So a general practitioner doctor, they are a doctor, right? They have a doctorate, they have a degree and everything like that, right? And so does a brain surgeon, right? Brain surgeon might have a little bit more school, but they still have that doctor analogy. But why is it that a brain surgeon makes on average 5 to 10 times more and works way less hours, right? Why is that, right? They make 5 to 10 times more the money, but they work way less hours, and they work way less hours than a general practitioner. It's because a general practitioner is not a specialist, right? They just service everybody, right? They're just your normal family doctor. They're the general practitioner. They help you, and then they refer you to, say you have a tumor or something like that. They refer you to that brain surgeon, and the brain surgeon gets paid more. It's because they're a specialist. And that's the same exact strategy for your business and the niche and everything that you pick. There's literally no difference. The only difference is they have to go to school for years and go in $100,000 and hundreds of $1,000s in debt. But the fact that you're on this training right now and you're going down entrepreneurship, you don't have to do any of that, right? But I'm just saying, be specific and pick a niche and pick an industry and a person that you serve. That is going to prepare you for the long run and allow you to make an insane amount of money. Okay. So stop offering services to lots of people, right? Just like I said, stop doing it. Stop offering services to lots of people. Start offering 1 or 2 services to a specific group of people that share similar attributes. Okay. Excuse me. And so what are the benefits of that? Right? It's easy to repeat for lots of clients, right? So you're not running around in circles. Goes back to the complex thing, right? If you pick a niche, okay, I'm doing lead generation for doctors, right? And then you have a doctor client, you're getting them great results. Awesome. And then you land another doctor client, right? It's going to be the same process. I would say that it's a lot easier to repeat that for them, correct? I think I'm right. Right? Versus, oh, I got a doctor, now I got a real estate agent, now I got, a finance industry, right? Because then it requires you to learn all these different industries and how to get them results, which really boggles you down and just makes you chase yourself in circles, right? We're not here to chase ourselves in circles and offer all these different things. We're here to, make an impact for sure. Like you guys know, I'm really big about impact and, all that, but we're here to make money, right? We want to do the least amount of work to get the customers the best result, right? What can we do? What is the easiest thing we can do for the client to get the maximum amount of result, and then keep repeating that and scaling it up to make more money, right? That is why we niche down, right? It's repeatable for lots of clients. It's way easier, right? I would rather do something easy than hard, agree with me or not, but I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with me. And then the second one is you have the ability to become a thought leader in that industry and dominate the market, right? Goes back to what I said about Facebook marketing. Like it's impossible to be considered the best Facebook marketer, right? Maybe you could do it. Who knows? But it's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard. But if you found an industry and a niche that is, unique, and you could become the best Facebook ads guy for that little specific niche, right? Maybe you're the best freaking Facebook ads guy for real estate agents to generate buyer leads and sell their homes, right? Maybe you're the best Facebook ads guy for that, right? Maybe you are, maybe you're the best Facebook advertiser or YouTube advertiser for e-commerce brands, right? Maybe you're the best person to build chatbots. Maybe you're the best person to build chatbots for e-commerce brands. You know what I'm saying? That is what I'm trying to talk about. Then you can dominate the market, because building a brand online and being used as a thought leader, right? It all comes down to being a specialist and an authority in the field. So if you're just, hey, I'm just a digital marketing agency, we just help everybody, right? What's the difference between you and all these other guys that are big fish out there? Why would they invite you to come speak at a conference filled with business owners, right? But if you were, say, the best digital marketer for doctors, and they were holding a conference, like an annual conference where all the doctors came in to learn more about social, who would they invite? They'd invite you, right? And you knew that you could get them results. And then bam, you see what I'm saying? It's a compound effect. That's why you guys need to niche down and pick an industry that you can dominate. At least at the start, pick that industry, and then obviously, I don't want to confuse you guys, but later down the road, once you have that system built, which we're going to go into systems, you could go into other things, right? Next thing is easy to build systems and a checklist, right? We're going to be talking about systems in here. That's the thing. That's the difference between a freelancer versus a business owner, is building systems and checklists and processes that run the business to where you can train other people, and there's just actually a system there, right? Instead of just trying to throw paint on the wall and hope it sticks and hope you get a check from the client, right? Marketing is easier because, and then this is another thing, is marketing is easier because you know exactly, everything about your customer, right? If you're a niche specific, you're working with them, you know exactly their pain points, you know exactly who they are. So then it's, say that you want to scale with paid ads, which we also teach in the program, right? We're going to learn that in the later weeks. We know exactly all their pain points to put into the ads and the copy and, everything. So then we're speaking directly to that person, right? And then last one, you will make more money. Okay, that's why I put that in caps. You're going to make more money if you do that. All right, so now we're going to move into the exercise. If you guys haven't done this, I encourage you guys to do this. So get your little piece of paper, whatever you guys got, taking notes, and I'm going to help you pick a niche that you can serve. A lot of you are going to have a niche and all that already. That's great, and I hope you guys do. But for the very few of you that don't, I want you guys to do this, okay? So this is the exercise I take people through to pick a niche. And it's the first bubble right here is like the skills you have or you can learn, okay? That's important. The last part's important, or can learn, because we can learn anything. We live in a digital age. It doesn't matter. We can literally learn anything, and we can do anything that we put our mind to, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you haven't done this, pause this video, draw a circle on a piece of paper, right? Don't be the person that just watches it. Actually do this, because this is going to help you. Pause this video right now and then write down the skills you have. It does not matter what they are. It could be, I'm great at guitar. I can cook, whatever it is, right? Write all those things down, put them in that little box. And then once you're done, unpause this video. Cool. All right, next circle here is the industries okay? So an industry is the niche, right? The niche is a specific group of people that share similar attributes. That's what a niche is. Niche, whatever. Everyone kind of has their own little thing to it, right? So write those down. Maybe you don't have to know them insanely well, but say, maybe your mom's a real estate agent. Write real estate agents down, right? Maybe your dad's a doctor. Write doctors down. A lot of you guys are probably already working with some clients, right? So maybe write those down. What industries do you already know? Do you have an in with, right? All that, right? Write those down. Pause this video. Write those down, okay? And then unpause it whenever you're done, okay? And the next thing is the market's wants and needs. So the market is like the economy, what people buy, the market, like what are people willing to pay their money for, right? Like you talk about the market, like goes up and down, like that is the market, okay? So what are the market's needs, okay? Where is there a gap in the market, right? Like what do people need? The industry, maybe real estate agents, Zillow, like for real estate agents, they love leads, right? The Zillow leads just haven't been great. Maybe you've been talking to a real estate agent. That's what they say, oh snap. Yeah, that's great. Right there, market needs. Real estate agents need higher quality leads, right? Figure those things out, right? And that comes from as well doing market research, right? I've talked a lot about throughout the program is like you have to do your research. We've talked about market research, but for the people that like to skip through videos and stuff like that, market research is like most important thing that you need to do. Figure out, like, when you're picking a niche, right? Don't just go after what people are saying on YouTube, like, oh yeah, get this for this person. No, if you pick an industry, like say you're picking accountants, do research. Go talk to accountants, say, hey, what's the biggest problem that you're having right now? What can I solve for you, right? What are you willing to pay for? And then get live feedback from them. Understand the industry that you want to serve, their pain points, their problems, and then write those there, right? That is like getting live market feedback. That's where nobody teaches this. Nobody does. Everyone's just like, go out and, start a marketing agency and do lead generation for all these people. No, like I'm more so like pick a market, figure out their wants and needs, and then craft your service and offer to those. And no matter what they are, right? Craft it to those their needs, and then build the service around that, right? And so where all of these things combine is your niche, right? Where you have skills that skills you have or can learn, right? Matches with an industry, like you have a skill to solve the industry problem and the wants and needs, or say lead generation, bam, that is your niche, right? It's where everything comes together. And so what I encourage you guys to do, like literally write this down. Like this is going to change your life. I'm serious. Whatever kind of business you start, that's the thing is, people are just thinking like a lot of people already have a skill that they can build $1 million business off of, right? Like I know a girl named Brittany who literally, like, she stopped binge eating and she knew how she did it. And then she started a program and a consulting business where she taught women how to get over their binge eating and makes $80,000 a month, right? See what I'm saying? This program is, yes, because I run a marketing agency and, a bunch of other digital businesses, it's kind of structured around marketing, but it's more so how to build a business around anything you have. I'm trying here to equip you guys and give you the blueprint to be successful and be different, right? I want you guys to build $1 million companies. I don't want to just spit out, 6-figure earners from, you can do that easily. 6 figures is not hard with digital marketing. And a lot of you guys are going to do that, but literally you might have skill sets that you love to do that could build a $1 million business or more. Okay. So this is the big misconception. People think adding more to their offers results in more money, okay, which is completely false. Like the more things they add, right? Like I've talked to a lot of people and like, hey, Elliot, like what else should I add here? I'm doing the lead generation, but also I threw in a website, and then also I'm going to do their logos and I'm going to post on their social media. No, that's false. And it's actually about removing as many things as possible and keeping it lean and mean, right? All that matters. I already talked about, right? What is the result, right? What is their current situation? What is their desired situation? What is the result that you get for the client? That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else, right? You're just shooting yourself in the foot by adding all these different things. It's, it's coming from you not being confident in your offer and all that, right? They only care about the results. Stop adding things that don't really drive the needle. That's it. Just remove it. Doesn't make sense. Okay? The customer only cares about the result. They don't care about the tactics and the random add-ons you put in your proposal to make it seem more appealing. This kills you and your business, right? We want to remove complexity. We only want to focus on what moves the needle for the client, what gets them the result. That's the most important thing. The result of the client is the only thing. What are the things that we're doing? If we're already getting them results, what are the things that we're doing that is attributed to it? Everything else that doesn't really, attribute to that, cut it out. You're just wasting your time. Okay. So ask yourself these questions to find out what can be simplified. All right. So for you guys that are already rocking and rolling, a lot of you are, you need to go through this. Okay. So who is your target market? All right. Pause this video, write these down. Right. Who is your target market? Okay. Pull up a Google. They're actually in the program. They're down below. There is a link for a full PDF there that you guys can utilize. But for those of you that don't have it, right? If you're watching it on different somewhere else. Who's your target market, right? Target customer, write that down. If your niche is real estate agents and all that, who is that target customer? Write that there. 2, what do they need more than anything to get to their desired state, right? So say that your target customer is, Susan from Illinois, who, is 26, just got out of college, is a real estate agent, really just needs some more leads, right? She just needs some better leads. She's been trying Zillow. It sucks, right? So what does she need? She needs more qualified leads that, she only has through Facebook ads versus Zillow, because all these other real estate agents she's competing with for the leads, and they're beating her because she doesn't have experience, right? Or maybe she needs some training because she doesn't have the budget to pay a monthly retainer. Maybe she needs a training course or something like that, right? So what do they need more than anything to get the desired result? Write that there, okay? And then number 4, define every step you take to help them make that transformation, start to finish, right? So a lot of you guys, you're already, on rocking and rolling, right? A lot of you guys already have your niche, offer, result, all that stuff figured out. Some of you don't, but if you do, what are the steps that you take to get them there, right? First, I, normally reach out on LinkedIn and I get them in contact. Then I get on the phone and then I close them. They say yes. Then we do a follow-up call. Then I have to send a proposal. And then after they pay and all that stuff, what do? I first get access, set up the account, like literally everything. What do you do? Lay this all there. This will actually take time, so you're going to have to pause it. But I'm telling you, don't be the person that is watching it like, yeah, I got it, I'm going to do it. No, like seriously, pause this video right now and do it. Write out your process, because what we're going to do is cut it out, right? You can see in these next ones, right? Write out start to finish. And then 5, in that process, what isn't directly correlated to getting them result, right? Or what can we automate? What can we subtract from that, okay? But the thing is number 4, you have to have, like literally have it written out in front of you, like in steps, like pull out a piece of paper, write it out all in front of you, and then look at it. And then 5, in that process, what isn't directly correlated to getting them the result, okay? And then literally, if you don't need it, cut it out, because that's wasting your time, right? This is this thing that I preach all the time is your time is the most valuable asset that you have. You never get that back. We can always make more money. We can always land more clients, right? But we can never get time back. So the more time we're wasting on each client, we're wasting our valuable life. Right? That's what we're doing. So that's why you need to spend this time right now, because it's going to save you a lot more later. Write out the full process. And then in that process, what isn't directly correlated to getting them the result, and then cut that out and then move forward and stop using it. Okay. Right. In that process, what isn't directly correlated? These are kind of the same. So 6, you can cut out, what can you cut out of the process to simplify it, right? What can come out, and then cut it all out. Okay. And then move forward. I apologize for the spelling errors on this. My fault. Okay. So we start with your niche and offer, right? So the reason we talked about picking your niche and then why you simplify your offer, we did that whole exercise again, is because it's the most important thing in a successful business, right? Like the niche offer result, like the industry that you pick and the offer you bring to them is the foundation of your business, right? Like, yeah, sales is very important, and that's probably next in getting people in the door. But if you haven't picked an industry and matched that industry to a offer that hits on their pain points and something that they need to help them, your business isn't going to scale or grow, right? You might get some people to buy once in a while, but they're not going to be happy, right? So this is the foundation that we have to set as a freelancer to be able to think about going to that next level, right? Thinking about going farther and building upon this, right? So you must build the foundation before you build the walls, okay? So here's the action list for you, okay? Pick a niche if you haven't already, and then know everything about their industry. Like literally go read all the top 10 articles. I've already, people in the program, at this point, you guys should already know you should already know how to do this. But, go read the top 10 articles, go read the books, go literally do everything. Talk to people in the industry and ask them what their pain points and problems are, and then pick that niche based on that, and then craft your offer and everything according to what the market says. This is what people don't teach you. This is what they should teach in school, is that everyone has this great idea for this product or service, then they spend all this time building it, then they go to the market, no one wants to buy it, and then they get discouraged and quit. And it really comes down to just your foundation, right? Like, you have to go to the market and let them tell you what to build before you build it. Smartest thing to do, okay? And then next thing is make sure your offer is simple, but solves the niches, industries, same thing. Biggest pain point, okay? So figure out what they have, figure out, from the skills you have or the skills you can learn, figure out what is their biggest pain point, what are they struggling with, and then do whatever it takes to be able to figure, either you already know how to do it or learn how to do it, because we can literally figure out how to learn anything nowadays with our computers and stuff, right? Very blessed in that sense. Figure out how to solve the pain point, and then go back to them and say, hey, I have a solution for this. It's going to be, $2,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works, and they'll be happy to pay it if it really solves their problem. All right, now we're going to move to the next point, okay? So creating systems to remove yourself from the ecosystem, all right? So let me just talk about this a little bit, right? So everything is a system. Like, your business is a system. It's like the overall business is a macro system with micro systems attached to it. We're going to go more into it. So how do we build systems, right, to where it automates us and allows things to run systematically? Everything we've talked about before is necessary to start building systems, okay? Most of you guys are already here. Like, you already have proof of concept. You got clients. You guys are rocking and rolling. For those of you that aren't, you need to do that, right? You need to go pick your niche, right? Get an offer. And then after you figure all that out, then go and try to land some clients with it, right? Once you start getting some paying clients and you have a proof of concept, which a proof of concept is the market clearly wants this, then we go into start building systems around it to make it better, to where then we're able to scale and hire people and all that stuff and actually turn into a business. So if you haven't done that, that's great. You could watch this, but make sure to come back once you have that figured out and then go through this again, okay? So where you should be right now, have a specific niche you serve, right? You should already have that identified. Have a killer offer that helps the niche solve a painful problem, right? And take them from where they currently are to where they desire to be, right? Simplify your process from start to finish and cut out the baggage. So you should have already done that. You literally should have paused the video, look at where everything is leaking, right? See where the leaks are, and then cut out what's leaking, right? And then as a proof of concept, you should have at least 3 paying clients. That's a proof of concept, okay? If you guys are going at it as generalists and you're just landing everybody, no. Pick a niche, or like an industry, right? And then get 3 paying clients in that for that offer. And then, start building these systems and stuff that are going to allow you to set up for the long term, okay? A business is a series of small micro systems that work together and create a main macro system, okay? So micro systems are just like the smaller systems, like we're talking micro systems are smaller systems that all of them together make the macro, which is like the big system. Micro, smaller systems, macro, the bigger one that's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the big one right here. So our goal is to identify all the micro systems, build them, and create a checklist and a process that is easily repeatable, okay? So here's a diagram for you guys. You can screenshot it. So as you can see here at the top, it's the macro system. So that's the overall business. Like, that's the brain. That's the health of it, right? And obviously, depending on your industry, but most of you guys, everything is going to fall under these 4 systems that you, as the entrepreneur, the person who's building this thing, this is where your focus should be, right? Each one is a system that you need to build and get running, and then be able to automate it, right? Whether you hire people to where you can, walk away from it. Not all of it, but like you're supposed to be solving problems and building systems. That's what a business owner does, builds a system that runs itself. Business is just a system, right? So let's just go over it briefly. I'm going to go in more in depth, like client attraction, right? So what is a system that we use? Like we teach lots of organic and paid strategies already in the program, right? What is that client attraction method that you use to get leads in the door, right? How do you get them in the door and then build a system around that, right? So what is that system? Maybe you do really well on LinkedIn and you guys get clients in, right? For a business to thrive, there has to be a consistent lead flow. And what I'm saying about systems is a process, right? That like it's already set in stone through like checklists and videos to where you can say, hey, Johnny, you're my buddy. You want to come in and help reach out to clients and I'll pay you. Here's a training module that, here's a list of videos to show you how I do it. I just don't want to touch it anymore. I want to be able to get out of that and then focus on building another system. So, hey, Johnny, can you manage that? Yeah, sure, right? And you have a system in place to where it's not just in your head, it's actually on paper, on video, on checklist, on guides, to where you can duplicate yourself and not waste your time. See what I'm saying? Okay. So some other ones like Facebook ads, you can build a Facebook funnel to get more clients in the door. We talk about that already in the program. Like direct outreach. Maybe this is your process for reaching out. Maybe you're good at cold calling. I mean, people don't really like cold calling. I specifically don't. It works, but you're getting good numbers if out of 100 calls you get one person to really be interested. People just don't like it. I think there's a lot of other ways that are more effective, like LinkedIn and actually running paid ads and things like that. But that's just me. Okay. So that's the first one, client attraction. How are we getting leads in? Next one is client closing. So what is your system for closing the leads, right? It's one thing to get the leads in the door, but how are you closing them, right? And some different things there. Hey, maybe we have a sales team that's better than me at doing that, right? So the sales team closes them, but we also, since I'm the business owner, I want the sales team to be provided with enough materials to succeed. So I give them a script that we edit and make better, that is word for word what to say on a sales call to help them, right? At the bottom, I put automated webinar. Automated webinar is like, we run ads, someone signs up, registers. I'm sure you guys know about the webinar. And then at the end, it does like a one-time offer they buy. So normally that's for, products and things like that, basically, right? Then the next thing is your service delivery, right? This is probably the most important one, not the most important, but like for you guys, this is the thing you really got to focus on, okay? Service delivery, the process for delivering the value after they buy, right? So that's automated onboarding, right? So when a client comes in, automate that process, right? Maybe you just spend time creating a guide. So you send them a list of videos that shows them exactly how to onboard themselves or whatever, right? Or you have employees, right? You hire people that do the service delivery. You know what I'm saying? And then you have like how-to training. So then, you have someone on, they have Facebook experience. They're like, hey, how do you really get these results for these people? Hey, here's a list of the videos. This is how you make it happen. Let me know if you have questions, right? You building that system. It's a process, right? Like how is that thing ran instead of it all being tied back to you, right? Right? Like instead of everything being you, what you're doing is you're building systems to where you're duplicating yourself and allowing yourself to walk away and the organism to still work, right? And I'm sure you've put two and two together that we hire people around those different things to where we're able to exit and only do the most important thing that happens in the business. And as a freelancer, you're going to be doing the work, you're going to be servicing clients, all that stuff. But in the meantime, you can be building these different trainings as you do it. As you're running the ads right now, you can just turn on your screen recording and just start doing it because you're already doing it and documenting all that stuff. Until then you have like all these systems built, then then you can scale up more clients, all that stuff. But one thing that happens is that, you're a freelancer, you land all these clients and you're literally swamped, right? Then you start to get burnt out. You have no one to help you. Then you have no time to even, I need to build these trainings so I can help people. And then you bring someone on and then, see what I'm saying? Start building with the end goal in mind, right? Start with it first. Like, what is the end goal? Start building along the way. Doesn't have to be immediate, but just along the way so you know it, okay? And then the last one is finance machine. So that's knowing your numbers, right? Like, what are your numbers? Like, say you're running a funnel to sell a product or your service. Like, what are those numbers? Do you put $10 in and, you can get $100 out? What are you about to make this month? What's your profit margins on each package? Like, what are you paying people? Knowing those numbers, that's just being a responsible and an actual, business owner. Like, that's one thing that, is different. Like, it's business is not a game, and it takes a lot of responsibility and dedication. And one of the big things is like knowing those numbers. Like, what are the inputs and outputs of the business? What is the efficiency? How do we troubleshoot? The finance machine really wraps around everything, right? Because without that, it's nothing. All right, so let's break down each one. So client attraction system. So your business will not grow if you don't have an established process for getting new leads in the door systematically, right? The goal of this stage is to find a system that works for you, works for your niche, and create training on how to do it, right? Because everyone, like a lot of people in here, they have different offers and stuff, right? Because everyone has different skill sets. Everyone's better at different things, right? But the thing is you can build a business around anything. Business is amazing. You're creative. But this is what you really need. Like, you have to have this to really take things to the next level. Your business will not grow if you don't have an established process for getting new leads. And what you need to do is you need to figure that out. In this program, you have all those different things. We give you all kinds of strategies that are proven, battle tested, and work. But figure out the one that works the best for you and your offer. Teach someone how to do it. Create video training, get that process established. And run from there, right? So an example is Facebook ads funnel that generates strategy session calls, right? So maybe that's one way that you get calls, right? You run ads to a lead form, and you get people that are interested and you call them, right? LinkedIn automation system that gets you in contact with your ideal customer. Maybe you use LinkedIn a lot, right? So then you have a training around it, then you hire someone and they do LinkedIn all day. Maybe you're good at direct outreach, right? Maybe you have a process like we've talked about a lot, like strategic mail, and I've talked about iPad strategy, which just costs a little bit of money, but it works, right? You stand out. Maybe that works for you, and you show them, build a process how to do it, so you can hire someone who handles all of it. Then that's off your plate. It's about getting things off your plate and empowering other people, so you can work on what's most important, which is building more systems and focus on strategy and growing the company. So client closing system. Getting leads in the door is one thing, but turning them into paying customers is another. You need to establish a process to do this systematically as the business owner. Like, as a business owner, it's your job to find the system and build training or a checklist on how to execute, right? It's not your employee's job. But I mean, that's beg to differ, right? Maybe you hire somebody, based on the different skills that they have, and they can come in and help, right? That's another thing. They can come in and help you build this system. That would work. But most of the time, right, you're going to start off one by yourself. You're going to know what you're doing to close. So take feedback and build a system around how you do that, right? Like, build a sales call script that's word for word what you say to give it to a sales team. Like, build the sales team. This all goes underneath here, that uses the scripts to close for you. Like, maybe you have a product. That's a very hard thing to do. But our agency builds this for a lot of people. Automated webinar that closes people without you ever having to talk to them. That's only products, right? Build that system, build that closing system in your business so it's set in stone. You could literally plug someone in that was qualified and they could run it for you. You could, leave and you'd still be making money. Delivery system, right? At this point, you probably do all the service delivery for your customer. It would help if you found ways to automate the process either with software or by hiring someone to handle it. When hiring, the best thing for you to do is to create a mini course, and it should show them exactly how to do this delivery of the service. They will have questions, but it will save you valuable time, right? That's one thing that we do is we create, like, for a process and how to do like the delivery, we create lots of training videos and stuff like that for different people we bring in. You know what I mean? So that's one thing you can do. Like, say you're doing Facebook ads for a specific niche, right? And you're using these specific offers. These are the ads that work, right? Create training videos and just say, hey, this is how I do it. These are the audiences that I target, right? And you're like, hey, yeah, Johnny, I want to hire you. Just go over to YouTube and go to the playlist service delivery. And when you go in there, it's going to show you step by step. Like, first, we talk to the client this way. Second, we ask them for this creative. And third, we launch a campaign. And for 3 days, we let it sit. Then we do this. You see what I'm saying? Bam, have the course automate your time. Time is the most valuable thing that you have. You can work on the most important thing of your business, right? Working on the systems, process, and the growth. So here's some examples, like automating the client onboarding process by creating checklists, right? Hey, Johnny, here's a checklist that says bam, 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 bam. So we do this for our marketing agency as well. We have a lot of checklists and processes, which I'm going to show you an example on here in a second. Another thing is hiring someone to handle all the client workload, right? Hiring someone that can actually just run all the ads, like do all of it. So you don't even have to run the ads of the client. You don't have to do the service, not even just ads. I'm just biased because I'm a digital marketer and that's what we do. But someone to do the service delivery of the client, removing yourself from the client relationship to where they're not like attached to you, right? So then your employees and the people that work for you can literally handle it all. Like they're handling it. You know what I'm saying? So then you have peace of mind and you can just work on what's best. So the last one, so this is another thing that you can do. I don't want you guys to get distracted here. But this is another system that you can build to make things more automated. And there's one more spelling error, but turning your done for you package. So like we do the work for you, we implement this for you into a do it yourself. So you see the TT is supposed to be do it yourself, like a digital course of some kind, right? It's a misconception. Like you guys, this is a digital course, but it's a misconception that, like really, like I put thousands of hours into my trainings. A lot of times it's better than one-on-one. And so, you can charge just as much for a do-it-yourself. Selling knowledge is not a bad thing. We live in a digital age, and as long as you're teaching something you're an expert in, and you've done, right, it's good, so that's one way you could automate, but don't get distracted with that. Build the system and start building the company around that, then think about that later, but that's just an example. Okay, now we're talking about the finance system. So your finance system is how you structure and manage the health of the company. It's connected to all the other systems in your business. It's going to be organized. It's about being organized, knowing your numbers, leading the team, etc. Right? Like all of like the logistics, the finance, like it's kind of everything in place. Like examples, like have a finance tracking sheet, knowing your advertising numbers. Like an example, we put 10K into ads. We can make $100,000 back, right? Knowing all those numbers, knowing our profit margins per client, right? Knowing all that different stuff, like overall company operations, like like how is everything running? Is employees happy? Are things going good? Or, are there gaps? Like everything, you know what I mean? This is like kind of I like this part. So a lot of people don't like this part of business, but it's part of it, right? And then automation like QuickBooks. QuickBooks, we've already talked about this in the program. QuickBooks like links to your bank account in the business, and you're able to categorize expenses and stuff like that for tax write-offs. Just a little disclaimer, I'm not a certified accountant or anything like that. I have no authority to really give you advice there. So I encourage you guys to consult with an accountant when it comes to taxes, and different taxes when it comes to your business. Okay. Important thing, like having an accountant, etc. Like hiring an accountant, hiring a bookkeeper, hiring people. If you don't want to handle this thing, that's something that you can do, right? Building that system. All right. So now we're just going to move into like, here's some examples, like, example we have for our onboarding, right? So we just created like a little guide. Like literally I have virtual assistants. I even have a process for virtual assistants. You guys get it in here, how to hire and scale virtual assistants. That's in the program as well. But like when a client comes on for advertising, we need all their login information to their accounts, right? So instead of us getting on the phone call and having to tell them how to do it, we send them this guide. It's an access checklist. There's not all the pages in here. I just wanted to get the point across. Access checklist. It shows them how to grant access to the Facebook page. It has frequently asked questions. We get the Google account, all that stuff, right? That's an automation key, right? That's why I was saying, put your process out, see where the gaps are, see what you can automate to free up your time. That's the most important thing, because we only have so much time. The more time you have to do more important things that actually grow instead of working in your business, instead of on your business, is the most important thing. Here's an example of service like training videos, right? We use YouTube to keep all of our internal training videos because it's free. You don't have to pay for it. And we place them into playlists. So YouTube, how you can make playlists. So if you have this is for this service offering, this is for this process, just upload a YouTube video. If you record it, you can record it on OBS or these different things, and it saves to your desktop. Upload it to YouTube as unlisted, right? Put in a playlist, and then if you have someone that comes on or someone that needs to learn it to automate your time, to say, hey, go check this playlist out, right? All right, moving to the next point, okay, which is working on your business instead of in your business. This kind of goes with everything, right? But we're just going to a little more deep. So if you want to run a successful business, you have to know how to play to your strengths. It's pretty easy to micromanage everything. You may think that you can get things done better and more efficiently than anyone else. That might even be true, but all the time you are spending doing jobs that other people could be doing is time that you are not running your business. When you get bogged down in simple details that your employees could be working on, you are not being an effective leader. And this is true, right? This is why we talked about building all the systems in your business for people you hire down the road, right? Probably a freelancer right now, but now you know where we want to go and the importance of this. So, as you're doing your client delivery and stuff like that, make sure your foundations are right with your niche and your offer and it's killing it. And then once that's there, start building your training and processes to where you can start piece by piece, getting yourself in the business, doing all this stuff inside of it. As a leader of your business, you're responsible for spotting problems and delegating solutions. You're responsible for setting goals and thinking about the future. The only person in your company who will be genuinely motivated to grow your company is you. And that's true. Every minute that you spend working on tasks that can be delegated is a minute that you are not planning, strategizing, and building the best business possible, right? This is so true, right? Like, that's your job. Like, it's all on you. Like, everything's your fault. It's all you. So anything you can delegate and have people do that's not worth your time is the best thing for you to do. It's smart. This is why it's so important to work on your business, not in your business. You are in charge of the big picture. When you see areas that need improvement, delegate the work out so you can continue to be the troubleshooter and visionary that you need to be. It may take some practice if you're used to getting really hands-on in your business, but your employees will appreciate the trust and responsibility you give them, and you will quickly learn that you can do the job of leading your business that no one else can do, okay? I think that really summarizes it up, okay? All right, so last point, okay, is hiring where it hurts. So this is talking about hiring, right? So you guys are building all these processes and doing all this stuff, as you're a freelancer, building all of them. And then so when are we hiring kind of here? And it's talking about hiring when it hurts. Where are the aspects of the business that you don't like to do, where it hurts, where are we bleeding? So then it makes sense to hire people, okay? So the best place to start when it comes to hiring is always to hire people when you see weakness or gaps in the business, okay? When things are not going well or things you don't like, or maybe you're getting overloaded and, it's neglecting the clients. So you should hire somebody to make up for that, right? An example, if you're doing the service delivery and wasting all your time, and on top of that, don't like doing the work, you should hire someone to take that off your plate, right? Pretty straightforward. The job of the business owner is to look at your business. The job of the business owner is to look at, it should be the business. I'm sorry, guys. My grammar is a little off. The job of the business owner is to look at the business and see where the gaps are and either fill them with people, software, or find a way to remove them, right? It's either we find someone, there's a gap here, right? Do we need this gap? Is it here for no reason? Do we really need it? If not, remove it. Or, yeah, we really need this. This is actually what goes into play to helping the customer get the result, which is most important. So let's either hire someone to handle this, or is there a software that we can pay for that will automate that process, right? That's how your brain should be working. All right, so here's just a couple reasons to hire here. You're turning down work, right? So you're getting more work than you can handle. Hire somebody, okay? Hire someone to take that workload. You're missing out on revenue. You've identified new sources of potential revenue streams, right? So say that, you have some different revenue streams that are coming in and you can't really handle it. You need some people to come on. That's a good way to, it's a good thing to handle it. But you need to have the foundations first. You need to have the foundations built. You need to have clients. You need to have money coming in. You need that to be rocking. before you start hiring. You need someone with, like, say you need someone with a specific skill set, right? Say that, say you're doing Facebook lead gen, and say like YouTube ads or something like that go hand in hand, and you don't have the time to go and want to learn it, and you probably shouldn't, you know what I mean? Stick to what you guys are good at, but it's a perfect way to add new revenue streams. So you need someone with a specific skill set, hire a YouTube guy. Great example. You can't find any time for a break or vacation, right? Say you're getting really burnt out. Business is hard. It takes, it's a grind at the start. So I don't recommend you guys to think about that right now, but if it's years on the road, you're making, a lot of money, you got systems in place, things like that, you can't take a break. That's a good time to hire, figure out why. That's actually kind of more of a, like, audit your business. You haven't done a good job at building the systems. Your company isn't growing. So say it's stagnant, being able to audit those different things. And a lot of times it's like, hey, we need to hire someone new to come in and handle these things so I can focus on this, or, those are some different things. That's one reason. You're spending time on tasks that aren't worth your time. Biggest one, right? That's the main one, right? You're spending tasks on, time on tasks that are not worth your time. Because time is the most valuable asset. You're the leader, you're the visionary. You're supposed to work on the company and grow it. Everything's your fault. Everything revolves around you. So if you ain't growing, it's your fault. And if you're wasting time in the business, not on the business to help it go to the next level, that's your fault. Hire someone to take over. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it for this video. Okay. So here's what we covered. We covered understanding the difference between a freelancer and business owner. And we covered simplicity always wins and why it's important. Covered that. Creating systems to remove yourself from the ecosystem. Then we talked about working on your business instead of in the business. And then we talked about hiring and hiring where it hurts. Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching this modular training. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next modules. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell, and I would love for you guys to join this community. As well, if you guys want to talk with me and get a free strategy session, I offer this to my audience. All you have to do is just click the link down below and says book a strategy session, and then we can get on a phone call. I can see where you're at in your goals and try to point you in the right direction. So like I said, thank you guys so much again for watching the training. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos.